What's up, beautiful people? Today is July 3rd. Happy 4th of July weekend. And this video is going to be about the full moon in Cancer. I mean, the new moon in Cancer. I'm sorry. It's been a little bit. I've been missing a few of my videos. My sincerest apologies to all, to all my people out there. But I'm making some very deep, profound, fundamental, important transitions in my life. And so I've been doing a lot of healing work, building up this healing center in Mexico with my boy Bryce. If you guys you guys should definitely go ahead and follow Combo Healing Me on IG. Him and I are doing some very powerful, amazing work. And if anybody's interested in doing ceremony or working with me, please message me on my IG at spiritual_bodybuilder, and we'll walk through it. And I promise you, the shit that we're doing right now is going to change your life. But with astrology, we have this new moon is going to be intense, in a large part due to this very powerful T-square that we have going on between Saturn, Uranus, and Venus and Mars that are conjunct, and then Venus and Mars opposed to Saturn. This is a very rare aspect, and this is very powerful because Saturn and Uranus, they've been doing this dance, and they're going to be doing this dance now, for at least like a good year and a half. And this is within us. This is that back and forth, like, do I stay or do I go? Or do I want safety or do I want growth? Or, I have this life right here, but there's something better, but it requires risk. Like all these feelings within us, it's coming to a head where the universe is screaming at us in the face, like, look, you have better available for you. Stop holding yourself back. Why we're going to see why we're holding ourselves back, what kind of habits, patterns, things, thought forms, people, situations, jobs, addictions, whatever you have it, they're all going to be coming to the forefront. And you have to be willing to look at it. If you're not willing to look at your own shit, then this could lead you, like, beat you down until where you just want to escape. No, I just don't want to deal with it. Stay away from me. I'm so tired. And look, if you're tired, like, this is ascension symptoms like crazy. All right. Ascension flu, whatever you want to call it. This is a wake up call. All right. And of course, Cancer is all about the emotions. It's all about feeling at home. Cancer wants to feel safe. Right. So with this new moon being with an orb to be in opposition to Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, this is hitting that spot, man. It's hitting that spot that's real deep inside and that we don't want to feel, that we don't want to acknowledge. So you have to be willing to walk into that feeling. I know, as I started working with these new medicines, man, like it brought up some of these feelings of fear and like that shit, like, no matter how many times you do it, you're like, oh, okay, I gotta prepare myself for this. And you know what? Like, you get to a point, a threshold, where it's like, okay, now you've gotten to that place. You faced it. Now you're free. I tell you what, I feel free, and I'm sure you guys can feel it. My energy, man. I feel different, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Iboga is definitely my medicine, that's for sure. And I'm so grateful for it. But this is where the universe is asking us to break free. But in order to break free, we gotta face the shit. We gotta feel it. We gotta acknowledge it so that it can teach us. Mars and Venus conjunct alone, that's the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together to have a little chat. Now, while it's there, of course, they're both opposing Saturn, which is like, okay, what part of your divine masculine is still, like, this has been a filtration process, right? What part of your divine masculine is still toxic or is still feeding these dysfunctional patterns? And what are you receiving? What are you letting in? Where are your boundaries not being held up? So it's both sides of the spectrum where, the solid and the circle, like the flower of life, it's coming into a much deeper alignment. All right. And 1 + 8 = 9. So with that being a 9 degree, that's endings. You're letting go of something and starting something new. Now, thank God we have Saturn sextile to the south node and trine the north node with all this going on, because this is like the anchor, the glue that's holding everything together, because karma represents the karma. karma. Did I say karma represents karma? Saturn is the lord of karma and cause and effect and law of attraction and the law of time and space and all these things in this reality that we live in. So this is wanting to uphold, looking at like the level of humanity that we want to live, coming into like, we're going to start to be seeing, you know, people coming into more communal type living and shifting around ethics, morals, belief systems, thought patterns. That's what the North and South node in Sagittarius and Gemini is all about. So belief systems, value systems, you know, points of perspective and understanding are all being shifted and contorted from the top down. This is happening everywhere. And if you look out at the world stage, right? If you look underneath all the bullshit and like the political, you know, games that are going on, you see everybody out there is being faced with their deepest fear. Everybody's being attacked. This is a spiritual warfare. So as we move through this experience, you can see, okay, that person was afraid to step into their fear and to honor their self. Like they're selling themselves out a little bit. There's a lot of politicians that, you know, like I'm sure there's a lot of, you know, like fear mongering or like, you know, using pressure from greed or money or other ways to convince you to do something that's against your moral or ethical nature. That's why we have so many people, you know, quitting their jobs and like, you know, canceling their lives basically in order to preserve themselves. So if you're allowing your fear to take over, you're going to be in the self-preservation mode, but that means that you're keeping your vibration low because you're not facing your fear. And look, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that, you know, it's right or wrong, it's good or bad. Those are subjective emotions. This is about like, how far are you willing to go? Are you willing to love yourself enough to stand in your own truth and ethical and moral power so that you don't sacrifice your life? Because when you face that fear, all right, you're going to clear it out. And then that's going to make you free for that next level, that next chapter, that next beautiful thing for the highest and best good of all. So I encourage you, you know, this is like having to do the biggest trust fall of your life and you're trusting in the universe. Like you have to trust that you're going to be able to walk on water. Okay. Well, you got to believe it, but it's going to get down to a point where, you know, you're staying there at the beach. You're like, okay, how the hell am I going to do this? This is crazy. I'm not gonna be able to do this. But the behind you, like, you know, shit's burning or you have people running at you trying to kill you and you're about to get shot. You're going to try, right? You're going to try until you go full bore and you just become free. And with all the transpersonal planets being retrograde, this is a reconfiguration of our soul. We have the personal planets that are all direct right now, and Uranus being direct, that energy is still moving forward. That's the energy of change, of transformation, of going into the unknown, of expect the unexpected. So we're going to be having a lot of changes here coming up. And, you know, we're still kind of in the window of this eclipse energy. So shit's still pretty hardcore, guys. Right. So, but there's so much beautiful, like high vibrational energy that's just punching through the darkness right now. And sometimes that doesn't really feel good at first because as it's punching the darkness out, it's going to come up through us and we're going to feel it. And that feeling sucks. But it's part of the process. So allow these things to come through. Okay. And you know, we also have Uranus now at 14 degrees. We haven't seen that. In fact, I think it was at 14 degrees the last time in Taurus at the very beginning of World War II. And with everything going on in the world right now, you know, we're already at war for sure, but I think it's going to become more, like a lot more information is be coming out and more, and it's going to get a little crazy. It's like, I mean, we're seeing all the weather changes along the world. There's all kinds of natural disasters happening. The world is purging, guys, and we're waking up, and we're going to start to realize that, you know, there's so much more to life than we even really thought. And I personally think that there's like different species of, like, you know, organic beings, I guess you could say, that live here that we haven't known yet, that probably have better technology than us. And, you know, that's where we get our technology from. Right. We're going to start to be seeing some weird stuff because we are awakening very, very quickly. and in a very hardcore kind of way. Not to mention, don't forget that we're going to be hitting the United States is going to be hitting its Pluto return next year. Okay. Right about, I think March or April is when it hits 27 degrees. And that's going to be exactly at its Pluto return. So when that happens, I think that that's really when the revolution is gonna really take off. Like, all the sides have been picked. We see it's the nationalists versus globalists. It's the jab versus the unjabbed. It's the people that want freedom versus people that want control, which is essentially Uranus versus Saturn, right? It's like a fucking video game, man. But the light's gonna win, and I feel that 100% in my bones. And there's especially with the new work that I'm doing, the amount of transformation and things, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I would love to work with you guys. If you would like to come down to this and do a healing ceremony with me, please message me on Instagram and let me know. All right. And other than that, you guys have a magical and beautiful new moon in Cancer, and keep rocking it out this month. It's going to be an intense month, very transformative, very emotional. Okay. Just, be true to your heart. You have to be true to yourself and go in the direction that you feel pulled to go, and just don't resist it. Okay. Allow yourself to just expand. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Namaste.